You don't even know how many times I've tried to record this. It's taken me 3 hours just to set this up. I had to download OBS, and at first I tried to use QuickTime. So there's a trick to get your face in the corner, like mine is, to use QuickTime to screen record and record your face at the same time. So I tried that first, but for some reason the website just wasn't loading. I think there was a problem on Google's end because this is an application running on Google Chrome. It's a web app. For some reason it crashed, so I had to try and find an alternative. I tried OBS and I spent probably 2 hours just playing around with OBS trying to get that to work. OBS isn't that good. I don't know why people actually use it for streaming, because unless you have a very powerful computer or like a Mac M5 silicon chip, it's just not going to work very well. So I had to go back to QuickTime, which is what I'm using now. And the lag is almost non-existent, which is the problem that I was having with OBS. It was so fucking laggy. When I moved my hand, it would show up about 2 seconds later on the screen. It's terrible. So right now, I'm recording on my phone, and it's using the continuity camera from my phone to my Mac and using QuickTime to record the screen plus my face from the phone. So let's get into it. What is this? What is Nusion? I'm being completely honest, I haven't the slightest clue. I started this project back in December, and the idea was actually something completely different. The idea was to take West African cuisine, right, West African food, and create a fusion. Sorry, I just bit a little. Create a fusion between West African food and Japanese functionality, utilitarian presentation, right? Like when you go anywhere in the world, you're going to go to Chinatown or you're going to go down the high street and you're going to find a sushi shop, right? You're going to find Chinese takeaway. You're going to find something that has to do with Asian culture. And usually presentation is very simple, but very effective, right? The food is in a box. It's ready to go. You grab your chopsticks or your cutlery and you're able to eat it really easily and really quickly. And I think that that's a very effective way of exporting culture. They were able or are able to export their culture through different means, whether it be saunas, right, or food, sushi, anime, right, television. There's so many different ways and avenues that they've been able to export their culture to the world, especially in the West, and do it in a way that isn't tacky, in a way that makes it seem elegant but also exotic, if that makes sense. So my idea was we have in sub-Saharan Africa and also North Africa, I'm not forgetting the North African Arab-esque cultures. We have so much culture. We have so much to offer the world. We have so much intricate ways and traditions of knowledge. So the idea is to export that culture in a way that makes sense and that is in context, but also aesthetically pleasing. And that's where Nusion emerged from. So let's get into the actual website. This took, I want to say, a month and a half to build. It probably could have taken a few days, maybe a weekend. I just had other projects and other work to do at the same time. But the whole thing was built with Antigravity, Google's new flagship AI IDE. The models that I used were Gemini and Claude. Now, if you're thinking of using Antigravity, I'd say start off using the Claude model just because it's a lot more reasonable. To give you an example, right, if you're trying to hook up an API and it's trying to pick between 3 different platforms to use that have the same service but maybe different prices or different features, it's going to give you actually the best option and it's going to reason very effectively. Whereas Gemini might just go with the first one that it finds. So Claude Sonnet rather is a lot more reasonable. So kind of just going into the website, we're just going to take a stroll through it. What is Nusion? How does it work? So the first thing is for restaurants to actually sign up and get their inventory, their meals, their menu onto the platform. I'd go through the onboarding of that with you, but honestly, I just can't be asked. I'll just describe how it works. Restaurants upload their real-time inventory. They do that through their menu. So there's actually a feature where a restaurant can take a picture of their menu or just upload a PDF of their menu, and then the AI goes in and extracts all the items of the menu and then breaks down those items into ingredients, and the restaurant just needs to update how much of the ingredient they have in stock in their pantry or in their kitchen. So everything can be done in real time, so it has operational value to the restaurant. And then the user, the diner, you can set your preferences, your dietary mood, your taste, right? Your flavor profile, your budget, more importantly. And then it matches those preferences to the stock that the restaurant currently has, right? So what you're getting is basically a reflection of what's in stock at the kitchen for the restaurant that you're trying to go to, but also based off of your own flavor profile, your own budgetary requirements, and so on. So down here, there's a few restaurants. These aren't real restaurants. These are fake, but I just needed to make restaurants to put on the platform because currently I don't have any partnerships. I don't have any restaurants on the platform, but hopefully that will be different in the next few weeks. But that's it in terms of a landing page. Everything's very simple, very straightforward. So let's actually get into the demo, right? I'm going to sign in because I would go through just the demo. You can do that if you go to the website, but I want to sign in just to show you what the actual dashboard looks like. So when you press login, you can pick a path, right? You can be a diner or you can be a restaurant. Since we're going down the diner path, we're just going to click on diner. You can log in with an email or just with Google. So once you log in, you have the option to pick any restaurant on the platform. I'm probably going to add some sort of filtering to this page so that it's not just all of them at once. Let's go with atomics because that actually looks quite cool. That's not supposed to happen. So we're going to go back home. We're going to try the demo because for some reason that page just isn't working. This has taken us to a demo for a restaurant called Ikoyi. Now, I'm not partnered with Ikoyi. I know Ikoyi is a restaurant in London. You're probably wondering why I've got their logo on there. Hopefully they're going to be our first partner, but they are a West African cuisine fine dining restaurant in London, and they're more upscale fine dining luxury, but there are different budgetary options depending on what you're looking for. So we're going to say fine dining, and then intensity just means how hot you like your food. But we're going to go with hot because I do like hot food. I don't have any dietary restrictions. I don't have any allergies, but if you did need something to be gluten-free, you can always click that in the restrictions. And once you're done with that, just click on curate experience. And in the background, it's really just doing a few things. It's matching all your preferences with what's in stock in the kitchen, plus creating some really cool graphics using AI, right? So these are all created with AI, the images anyway. The meals themselves are from the restaurant, the prices as well, and also the other information about the meals. If you want to get some more information about the ingredients of those meals, then you click on one of those cards, and it has this really cool animation. Like I spent a decent amount of time trying to code this, but it's basically a COBE framework. And it just creates this really cool animation of a globe. And when you scroll, it pans and zooms out. There's some more key information about the meal, where it's from, right? Some key botanical information. And behind this over here, I'm going to move myself to the right so you can actually see what's behind. So it says a sommelier's note. So that's basically what type of wine or type of alcohol you can pair your meal with. So that gives you oaked Chardonnay. Never tried that, but you know, if the sommelier says that's what you pair it with, and that's what you pair it with. That is really all that there is to it. You also have the total estimation of the price, so exactly how much you'd be spending if you go to that restaurant. You can save the collection, so when you press save, that just gives you a PDF of this menu, and then you can also reserve a table. So reserving a table just takes you straight to the booking website for the restaurant. And if you go back to Studio, you just see all the other restaurants. You can also go to your engine, right? So engine is just another word for profile. You can pick your location if you're in London, New York, Lagos, Tokyo, budget, just your default preferences. And in the palette, you have some other options. So once there are more restaurants on the platform, it can actually recommend those restaurants based off of your previous matches, and all of the generations of menus that you've made would show up here. So that's really it. It's not a very elaborate website. Like, I don't think that this is something groundbreaking or pioneering. I think what it is just a proof of concept for something that's an idea that I've just had for so long. It's just like the first iteration of how culture can be infused with technology to create something that's meaningful and contextual. There's a lot of other projects that I'm working on right now with Studio Aikin Karr, and this is just like one of them, like the first one that I'm just putting out there. But that's Nusion. The next steps with this business perspective, I'm not really looking at it as a business. I'm looking at it more as a project. But from a business perspective, the next step really is getting restaurants onto the platform, which sounds a lot easier than it actually is. I've spent enough time doing outreach in 2 previous startups to realize that trying to sell something is not an easy task. But I'm not trying to sell this product. I've learned my lesson. The name of the game is understanding what the pain point is for restaurants, what the value proposition is to solve their problem. When I built this, I wasn't really thinking, okay, how do I solve a problem for a restaurant? If I went down that path, I probably would not arrive at Nusion. It would be more like operational based platforms, looking at using cameras fed through AI to check what is in stock and give real-time updates of the kitchen stock, something like that. I was looking at it from more of an artistic perspective, trying to create a conversation between the chef or the restaurant's artistic expression, a conversation between that and the consumer, the diner. I think that spawns from a need to, like I said, export that culture, to create a medium for that culture to be appreciated. I don't really, to be honest, give a fuck about the business aspect of it. It could do well as a business if someone wants to build it, but I have no intentions of being a founder for this business. In fact, I have no intention of being a founder for any business apart from Studio Aikin Karr, which you could call a business, but I see it more as myself, who I am, my thoughts, my expressions, and things that I want to build. While we're here, this is the new website that I built, and actually I'm going to reload it so you can see the animation. Just look at that. Like, I made this in Framer. And if you're unfamiliar with Framer, it's a website building tool that allows you to pick from different types of themes. You can even build your own theme and get some really cool graphics, effects, transitions like the one that you just saw. But anyway, this is my new website, right? I've got all of my features on here: Parametric Academy, University of Michigan, Conversation, Afro Style. Yeah, to give you a bit more context, things that I want to do with Studio Aikin Karr is not just technology, it's not just architectural design. I guess you could call it encapsulating everything from design to strategy and innovation. I think that it's an all-encompassing, multidisciplinary studio, if anything. But yeah, that's really all that I wanted to share. Catch you in the next one. Peace.